Thank you, man.
Max, welcome to Dublin. Good to see you again. Huge fight coming up for you against Jeremy Stephens, obviously in December. The event fell out last night. You've been in sort of a similar situation. I know the fight actually started against Charles Oliveira, but there's been a bit of things said on his end. I know you're pretty angry about it. What's your reaction and thoughts?
I feel bad for the guy. I feel bad for the guy. I thought he was injured, and when he said he was injured, I felt bad. It's the only way we get our money, and stuff. But after the fight, UFC came out saying that he had no injuries. He had no major injuries. Am I the only one that saw that right up? I'm pretty sure everyone saw it, and he said Charles Oliveira had no major injuries. And I think a torn esophagus is a pretty major injury. And to him to take a fight the week after I'm fighting in December 19th, that's kind of crazy. If he was injured, wouldn't you think so? You take more time to recover and do PT and stuff. So I don't know, man. If you're injured, show the reports, man. Put out the reports. And he's over here saying that he was injured, blaming the injury, that it wasn't him. He wants to not crack at me. Show everybody the reports about this injury. No one even knows what his injury was. Someone said torn esophagus. I saw other people saying his shoulder. I saw people saying was his neck. I'm like, what is going on? What is the true story? He should come out with a true story, a true statement, and some doctor documents to back it up.
So your mindset, obviously, that's going to frustrate you. But you have to move on and look at Jeremy Stephens, who's coming up next. Let's look at the Stephens fight, because I know I think you've trained with Jeremy before in the past. Is that right? You actually lived in his house?
Yeah, in that Oliveira fight, I don't care. What I mean? It is what it is. It happened. I got my paychecks. My family's good. We're living, so it is what it is. I don't care. I moved on. I got a fight, like how you said, in Jeremy Stephens, and not that much people know. When Jeremy was getting ready for Anthony Pettis, he flew me out for 6 weeks. I lived with him. I lived with him, and and we was kind of acquaintance. I never did train with him after that. I trained with him 6 weeks. I went home. I never trained with him. We kept in contact through Twitter and stuff and whatever, but at the end of the day, it's his business. He's not one of my close teammates that I see every day, that we go to grind every day. He's an acquaintance, and he's a friend, but I think we can put our friendship aside for 15 minutes, get in there, do our thing, go get our paycheck, and then be friends right after. It's just a business. People take things too personal nowadays. It's nothing personal. It's just a business. He's not one of my guys that I wake up in Hawaii. I see at the gym 6 times out of the week. He's not. So it is what it is.
A lot of people consider you like the fastest evolving featherweight in the division at the moment. Do you think that's correct? Do you feel like you're kind of improving at a steadier rate than most of the guys in the division?
I don't like to think about that kind of stuff. When people start thinking about all kind of stuff that's out of their hand, they start stumbling. All I focus on is hard work, getting in the gym, focusing on what's next and taking one step at a time, and stay grounded. People get a taste of little success in this business, and they start snowballing and start getting bigger than what they really are, and then you see it's a very sketchy ending. So I don't want to be one of those guys. I want to ride this bus till the wheels fall off.
But in terms of your first bout with McGregor and the way we're kind of seeing you perform now, it seems like it's a completely different athlete that we have in our hands.
Yeah, of course, and I say this every time I talk. This sport is changing. This sport is growing, and if you don't grow with it, you're gonna get left behind. And luckily I've been able to grow. I'm stood young in this sport. I got a lot of more years, I like to think, in it, and you just gotta grow and take one step at a time. Keep your head straight and grow with the sport. Don't be scared to step out of your comfort zone, and you got to train everything, and you can't be good at everything anymore. You can't be good. Being good at everything is going to barely get you by. You got to be great. You got to be great at everything to be amongst the great in this sport. So that's what I plan on doing. I plan on being great at everything.
And when you look at that weekend in December, there's so many big featherweight fights from the top of that division. It could be completely blown open that weekend. Is that exciting for you? Do you think the division needs a kind of shake-up?
It's exciting, to be on the same scale. We got Chad and Frankie the day before. We got the champion fighting. I'm fighting the same day as the champion, so it's great, man. It's a great feeling, So we see what happens, All I can do is focus on Jeremy. hopefully I can pull out a win, and we see who wins from there, you know. And like you said, it's an exciting time, you know, and I can't wait. December should be a great month for everyone.
And what's the ideal way that plays out for you? You get a victory over Jeremy, maybe Chad beats Frankie to eliminate him from the title process, and then McGregor becomes a unified title champion. Is that the ideal situation for you ahead of that weekend?
You know, whoever, you know, we can make two cases, you know. If I was to win and Aldo was to win, and even if Frankie was to win, why give Frankie a rematch? Why not give Aldo a new challenger? You know, we can make that statement. And then if McGregor win, you know, there's just a bunch of people begging for that rematch. So why not give the fans what they want? You know, that's a rematch. That's what UFC been doing lately. They've been giving what fans want to see. So we could go either way, but you know, I'm not trying to get full of myself. I'm not trying to step. So let them talk shit. Let them run their mouth and go punch their face. You know, like keep it cool. You know, like my thing is like. They're trying not to fight the best version of you, you know, and you're letting them win, you know. Go out there, give them the best version, and have no regrets, you know. Everybody that fight McGregor has an excuse after, you know. They just have an excuse, you know. I don't have that excuse, you know. He's gonna talk, get ready for it, and just know you get to punch him in the face at the end of the week.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
You seem very big. How much do you weigh right now?
Right now I'm probably like 170.
Is that normal?
Yeah, it's not normal. It's a little bit bigger, but I've been enjoying it after that last fight. But it is what it is.
How's the weight cut now that the IV is banned and whatnot?
Weight cut is easy, man. Super easy, man. I never ever. I'm not one of those guys draining the weight cut. I'm every day until Thursday, the day before weigh-in, I'm eating breakfast. I'm eating dinner. I'm eating lunch. So I feel great, you know. We got my weight cut down to a science, and it's a great feeling.
Did you used to use the IV before?
Oh yeah, I used to use IV. You know, I just used the IV. I didn't need it. It just was a faster way to get rehydrated. You know, why not? It was there. It wasn't illegal, and you know, why not? It was just a way to get rehydrated without drinking so much water and being full of that, you know.
But you don't see that becoming a problem since it's banned now, and you have to rehydrate all of it.
Yeah, not a problem at all, man. You know, just we're fighters. We always gotta find a way. So we'll find a way. We'll be fine. I fought without taking an IV, and I already know how my body feels on it, and I feel great. So we'll see what happens.
You've probably been asked this question a lot before, but the fight at the UFC 194, McGregor, Aldo, how do you see that going?
I don't know, man. Like I said, the IV ban came into effect, and two of them is the bigger boys in the weight class. And you know, I think we saw an affected Conor McGregor. You know, the last fight, you know, he looked kind of flat. I know he said he had injuries or whatever, but I think the IV hurt him a lot that he couldn't have the IV. So we see what happens. You know, I guess it's who wants some more of that fight.
Just another thing on you know, December and what's going to happen around then. You know, does it actually matter for you what way it plays out the division?
It does not matter one bit. You know, I don't care. Whoever UFC want me to fight, I'll fight them. Anybody, when UFC calls you a fight and gives you a fight, you take that fight because it makes sense in their mind. Even if it doesn't make sense to the public, to you, to anyone, when UFC calls you and tells you, fight this guy, just fight him because they know what they want to do, they know what they want to see, and you just got to go out there and perform.
You look at Jeremy Stephens and you look at Max Holloway, you know, two guys who are, you know, you're obviously on a big streak. He's coming off an awesome win against Dennis Bermudez during the summer there. You know, fighting on that card in Vegas, pretty special with, you know, the Irish fans as well, being there again.
Yeah, you know, everybody talking about the Irish fan. I think I'm going to bring some Hawaiian fans up there too. So it's going to be great. You know, I heard the Ireland fans is super passionate. The Hawaiian fans is super passionate, and then. You got just a bunch of, you got the 185 titles, so they're going to bring a lot of people in too. So
it's that island mentality.
It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great.
That's something you're big on as well, to get the UFC to Hawaii. You know, a long history of mixed martial arts there. That's something close to your heart, and you obviously want to happen soon.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, hashtag UFCY, help me push it out. Just hashtag UFCY, tag me in it, and just whenever you can, just hashtag UFCY, because I know all these media people would love to be down there.